Okay, buddy. Are you ready to rock this thing?
Yeah, might
You
as
ready?
well.
You ready to knock her out of the park?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. We're recording.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Episode 18 of the Eric and Brad Show.
Woo!
18. 1 8. Um, Eric and Brad Show at
We're finally
gmail.com.
legal. Woo!
Woo! Yes. Legal to gamble, legal to vote.
It's my favorite
Jesus.
age.
Ugh. Yeah, I know. Take me back. This is my little glimpse into the past. Um,
Cock, cock, cock,
A-
cock.
Apple Podcasts. You can rate us there. Leave a 5-star rating. We're up to 9 ratings on Apple Podcasts, which is very good. Thank you so much to everybody who's done that. So the next one will be lucky number 10. If you can steal your wife's phone when she's in the shower and the paranoia's just overwhelmed your mind and you just have to know at that point and you go steal her phone. Before you go to the messages, you can just go to Apple Podcasts and hit 5. Same with your husband. When you're looking at your husband and you're like, this asshole thinks he's so slick, doesn't he? And he passes out because he's had too much to drink. You grab his phone, you're going for the messages. Just go to Apple Podcasts first and leave that 5-star rating before you go straight to messages. So yeah, episode 18 of the show. How's it going, buddy?
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. I've known this for years and years, but I finally you know, followed through with knowledge I've learned over the years. And so, we all know I have a drinking problem. So
Yes.
saith Brad.
Yeah.
So, I try not to drink before the show, but that never works. You know what I
Me in
mean?
the
And
morning?
no. I mean
Oh,
the night before. Because the
okay.
few times we have done the show where I've been sober all night, man, I'm like way sharp. I'm just sharp in the morning. I notice a major difference with how much sharper I am. The stutters, the booms go down, the
Hmm.
ums and the likes go away. Yeah, I'm doing better at speaking.
Right.
Well, last night, there's a few things about my drinking last night. Was one, I went to the store and I've been on this Mexican beer kick. So yesterday was or the day before was Modelo. Last night I
Hmm.
was like, I'm feeling Corona tonight. I was like, it's hot outside. It's fucking Corona night tonight. So
What about a lot?
I get a 24 pack of Corona bottles and I'm
Uh-huh.
fucking coming home, I fucking set them in the fridge, and I don't know why it doesn't dawn on me that the box isn't that big. I mean, it's a pretty big box, but a 24 pack of bottles is a big box. You know what I mean? And then I open it up, and there's a little Coronitas, and I didn't even notice it. They're the little tiny, little 7-ounce bottles, dude. I was pissed. I was playing video games last night, and literally every 2 minutes I had to get up and get a new beer because it's like 3 drinks, and you fucking have to. Then it makes it look like I'm even more of an alcoholic. There's like fucking 15, 16 beer bottles sit out, and I'm like, well, no, it's like 3 gulps for each fucking beer. I had to
Right.
stop doing it and then just get a mason jar and pour 3 of them in a mason jar because it was ridiculous. But
Oh my.
anyways, I know I'm an alkie.
Dude,
Um,
with Corona, you gotta get a lime, yo.
nah, I need it done. I need it in the tummy. That's the whole
Uh-huh.
point. I'm not
Need the
about
fit.
sprucing it up. You know what I mean? This is like
Right.
going to a 5-star restaurant. I don't want no fucking $300 little plate. That may be delicious. I want to go to fucking Hoot Owl and get some fucking a stacked plate. Of just garbage and just. I'm here to eat. I'm here to be full. I'm here to drink. You know what I mean? So, anyways,
Yeah.
that was one part of the night. The little fucking cornitas. God damn, I was so mad. Like, why the fuck did I buy these stupid little bottles? And then I going to bed last night and I'm like, man, I'm a little drunk. You know what I mean? I'm feeling it a little bit. And then
Jesus.
so I do, I've learned this a long time ago. You need to chug water. You know what I mean? Before you go to bed. And I never do it. I never do. I always am just drunk and just pass the fuck out. Then I wake up in the morning like, oh my God, my head hurts. So last night, yeah, I just sat at the sink, down 2 mason jars full of water, then woke up
Really?
at 2 in the morning and had to piss and down 2 more things of mason jars of water. Feel
Oh my.
great. Woke up this morning, felt like I didn't even drink a drop last night.
Was
Like,
it the
oh,
same was it the same mason jar you were pouring the Corona in?
no, that we have more than one mason jar, okay? It's just you move to the mason jar when you need shit to get done. When you need to hold some serious liquid. You don't want a
Hmm.
little bullshit cup. You don't want a coffee cup.
Classy.
Classy. So there's my drinking last night. Yeah, I thought, fill everyone in. We all know how shitty my
No.
problem is.
Yeah, I know it is shitty, and it's like I have this written down of just like bring the old Eric back. Like where's the old Eric? Because I think your best bit ever is Ruby Ridge. Was Ruby Ridge? Let's bring that.
Really?
Where's that? Yeah, you were passionate. You had so many notes. You were ready to go, full of fire. And then remember that episode that you shared on Facebook said it's my best episode yet was episode 14. And that was a good fucking episode. That was like our shining moment.
Yeah, yeah. And I
And
was
it was
I was sober for that one.
Yeah, it was just us. The guest bailed. Episode 14 was good. Got to bring that Eric back. Because last week it was like, cleaning your shotgun and like the Beirut video. So I just wanted to mention that. Because if I don't, who will?
Okay. Are you saying my topics were just garbage last week? I wasn't,
They were
didn't
just not
didn't
as,
come
they
fully
were,
prepared.
yeah, they were just, as far as from Ruby Ridge, I'm just like, we need more Ruby Ridge.
Let's anyone listening, you should email us because I don't, after Ruby Ridge was done, I kind of regretted doing it. I was like, that's too much. It was too much of me talking. It was too much of me
No,
fucking.
I loved it.
Okay.
But on another note, fucking the tech issues that we have dealt with almost last week almost broke me completely. I'm not gonna lie. Because and I take the vast majority of the responsibility just for the audio problems. Like even last week I still had audio issues and that is completely my fault. But the video issues we had last week almost broke me when I fucking ran into when I saw that what happened. Because for last week on the episode from minute 13 to minute 58, the camera didn't switch back to you, right?
I don't even. Yeah,
No
and
one,
I don't even. I don't understand that.
it's no one's fault. It just that combined with all the audio problems I've been having, which I think now I have it dialed fine, but who knows? Just that video thing was just like I just can't fucking take it anymore.
Yeah, I hate to get in your head a little bit. You might, I'm not trying to burst your bubble right now, but
Uh-huh.
you're when we say that you're cutting out at the end of a sentence or at the end
Yeah.
of like at the beginning of your sentence when I'm at the end of my sentence, you're kind of doing it right now. Like not bad. It's not nearly as bad. So don't even change it. I'm not trying to trip you out, but I'm gonna laugh if we have even more audio problems this
No,
time.
not
It
no.
You're cutting a little bit. Like I can hear you, like right there. I didn't hear the last two words you said. I saw your mouth move, but zero audio came out.
Okay.
Just saying. Sorry, sorry. I know people listening are like, I don't give a fuck about what you're talking about right now.
Yeah, maybe they do, maybe they don't. Yeah. I can't handle it. So hopefully that's almost over with. Um so So another thing, kind of on that in that same vein, that segment that I was trying to run last week about me recommending a Joe Rogan podcast, episode JRE number 1521. That was
Oh,
just
the dudes who break people out of prison or whatever.
yeah, it was just I and here's I'm just gonna kind of keep going on this. The main criticism I'm going to have of myself is not being able to sort of get to the point that I want to end at when I start with something. So, and that's a problem that I'm having in a wide variety of in like a large span of things in my life, like Facebook arguments or topics on this show. Like Brad can't get to the fucking point he wants to get to, like with the sort of thing I brought up a few weeks back of how I can separate art from the artist. I started at me going to see a Batman movie. The end point was being able to separate art from the artist. And that whole thing kind of got twisted and sidetracked, which is on me.
Well, well, I mean, I'm not you know, I'm pretty good at grabbing something and fucking going down my own path.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I
Like
know.
I want to, you spark my interest with something. I'm like, hey, let's stick with this, and
I
I want to
know,
talk about
right?
this. Yeah.
But yeah, and I'm aware of that, but it's still on me to guide it where I
To
want to
guide it
go.
back, to get it back on, to fucking get back over here. What? Okay.
So with that last week, it was me starting with a Ronda Rousey fight in
Uh huh.
2015,
Uh huh.
ending at sort of where I stand on the death penalty. That's kind of how I do it. Like I start way over here and want to try to bring it back here. Um, but with that, there was another good thing on that episode that the guys discussed was about Kamala Harris criminal justice record of her as a prosecutor. And I
Isn't
know we
she?
don't.
Isn't Kamala Harris the girl that just got nominated for vice president
Yeah,
for under Biden or
yeah.
whatever? Okay. Okay. Yeah.
And I didn't bring that up, but that was a good part of that episode that I was trying to recommend. Um, and I know we don't want to get too much into politics on this show, but sometimes we have to, because after Biden, Joseph Biden, who's running for president of the United States as a Democrat, after he announced his VP running mate, I posted a thing on Facebook, a clip from that JRE number 1521, where those lawyers go over her criminal justice record as a district attorney in San Francisco. Um, and the fucking comments the whole thing completely went to shit. And I'm kind of known. I have this history of these epic Facebook fucking arguments that I get into, usually on groups, like local groups or whatever, because I used to just take the bait constantly. Now I kind of provided the bait, but I just wanted to, and I wouldn't have posted that if she didn't get the vice president nominee. So I just threw that clip up there of them going over how she, turned away new evidence that was presented in order to keep her, like the defendant in jail or whatever. That's an innocent person. She turns away new evidence or whatever, just trying to win. And then right away, a few family members of mine who I love dearly came in very liberal, saying, don't don't be against Biden. If you're against Biden, you're pro-Trump. Stuff like that. This is the most important election of all time. We need to support Joe Biden. Da 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 da. Da. And I'm just saying things like, and I'm just trying to. My counter argument was to them was just trying to say like, can't I can I hate Biden without supporting Trump? And I get what they're saying when they're saying things like, if you're against one, you're for the other. I get that. But I'm just trying, and then the whole rest of the thing, all my friends started coming in. Boom, people start jumping in and attacking the family members and stuff like that. So now I'm just trying to sort of just navigate the waters through this whole entire like giant Facebook post. People from work, da 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 da. Sawyer's texting me, being like, should I jump in there? Fuck those people, whatever. And I'm saying like, no, don't do it. They're my aunts. Like, yeah, like just don't worry about it. Like my mom's calling me on the phone because
Dude,
now
you
my
need to fucking get off of Facebook, bro. I've been saying it for months now. Fucking delete that shit. It's
now
garbage. It's a
my friends are
garbage
jumping
app.
in. My friends are jumping in, calling them assholes. They're
Yeah.
calling him an
There's
asshole.
nothing there's nothing good that comes out of Facebook at all. It's all negative. There's no positive. Name a fucking positive. And like the only thing you can possibly come up with is that it keeps people in touch like years and years and years after. You're going to like still have contact with someone you would have never have had contact with. You know what I mean? Someone you knew
Yeah,
from high school. That's like
which
the
can be
only
good or bad.
positive. But that for how many times that actually happens, and then all the negative bullshit that actually happens, or the like super egotistical vain bullshit that goes on
Yeah.
Facebook or like all social media, it's just garbage. I never feel good. I've
No,
never gotten off the shitter and turned off my phone and was like, I feel better now. Like I feel
yeah.
better that I just was on Facebook. Never. It's never fucking happened. I'm always mad when I get off. I'm just like, yeah, like fuck that bitch. Yeah, fuck you, dumbass. Yeah.
It all
Sorry.
came to a head, and I mentioned it before on the show. It all came to a head for me when it was a few winters ago when I was in that crazy argument on there about that Gillette commercial. And I'm just like, this is just insane. But I just wanted to post the clip. I don't know. It's a good clip. And the thing is, the people who jumped in there saying don't be against Biden. They obviously didn't watch the clip. And that was the thing. It's like you just read the headline and you just started attacking. And then everybody else started attacking. And then I'm like, fuck. I don't know, but it's like it's such a and then I'm like, fucking, why did he wait so long to nominate her as for his vice president running mate? Like, it's August, the election's in 3 months. It's kind of crazy, I guess, because maybe there's not a lot of campaigning going on. And I'm just like, and it's like, I think the president doesn't even make a difference in your everyday life. It's just something to argue over. I kind of think you're whether if you're going to be successful or if you're going to be a failure, it's not going to fucking matter who the president is. That's kind of what I think. And then I'm thinking maybe I need to get hooked up with some other people who aren't like, because I would never say I'm a Democrat or I'm a Republican. I would never do that because I think it's just so. I think they're all ridiculous idiots. Maybe I need to get hooked up with some people who are a part of some other party and see what's going on there. Because I just like posting things online going against everybody and just standing right in the middle.
Well, if that's what gets you dandy, then you keep doing that. I'm gonna keep drinking. You keep doing your bullshit fucking Facebook things. We all have our vices, our horrible vices that we hang on to.
Yeah, I
I
see.
think yours is a little bit more destructive than mine, but we'll see how it goes. No, okay. And then, dude, we need to get fucking sponsored by TikTok because that's another thing I really like about TikTok is they hide the comments. You have to legitimately like go hit a button to get to the comments. Like, so if you got some douchebag, dude, Facebook, I mean, I've heard those people like on Joe Rogan and shit like that. They're like the dudes who work, tech guys that work in like algorithm shit. And they're just that is what Facebook is all about. Their whole algorithm is about making people fucking pissed off because it just
Right.
gets more like interaction. They understand how to get more interaction out of people, and it isn't by fucking puppies and kitty videos. It's all about as soon as you fucking post a Trump thing, it's instantly fucking gets pushed in the algorithm because they know what it's gonna do. It's gonna start a fucking fight, and the fights are gonna bring the comments and bring all the the likes and fucking da 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 da. Da.
Yeah.
Whereas, yeah,
But
I can't.
and then also, I think if you post, say, a Trump thing, whether you're for or against, then you start seeing posts from these pages you don't even know who they are. It's like, oh, the Daily Mail or
Yeah,
some shit
yeah,
saying,
yeah. No, and
yeah,
then they're just then they start pushing you in a direction. Like I think if everyone backed up from it for a minute and really just focused on that part of it, like, okay,
mhm,
you have an app on your phone that is completely set up to piss you off. Like
yeah,
that's what it's there for.
you should come
And
back.
you enjoy it, and you go back every because they're some fucking they fucking wired into some weird dopamine versus anger fucking thing going on, and you get this like weird release when you're on there, and they fucking suck you in like some kind of drug, and then just piss you off, and that's all they fucking do. It's literally cocaine. That is, it's the exact same thing. It make you feel real fucking good, and then just piss you off the rest of the time. Like it's horrible. It's evil. It's
It is
an evil
horrible.
fucking thing. Delete Facebook.
Yeah, you're right. I don't have the app, so I just go
You
to
have to
Google
do it on your computer. Okay, that's better. If get it off your phone because that's the
because
shitty
on
part.
my phone I hit Google Chrome
Oh,
and
so you're
I
still
just
doing
go to
it on
Facebook.
your phone. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just don't get any notifications. There's no notifications. Why is my phone talking? um, you know what I mean? You should come back. We need you.
No, I'm not coming back. I get on there for just to do the fucking bullshit promotion for this show. And like
Uh-huh.
every time, dude, I fucking look at the
He's
top post and then it suckers me down to the second post and the third post and I go, no, no, get out of there. And then I fucking delete the whole. I'm like, nope, see, I knew it. With it by the third fucking post, I'm already
yeah,
starting to get some weird fucking emotions fucking creeping up and just like,
yeah.
fuck that bitch. Fucking he's an asshole. You know what I mean? Like, fuck, blah, 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 blah. And I just like, nope, ain't doing it. Ain't doing it. It's not a good way
Oh,
to live. It's not healthy for human beings. We need to go
no,
back
you're right.
to calling people on the phone and be like, hey, Johnny, can I come
Oh,
over? You know what I mean? And fucking the cell phones, all this shit is not good for people.
I
That
know.
we turn into little brads, little fucking, don't talk
Well,
to me, you know?
yeah. The day I do decide to hang it up officially, my jersey will have a high place in the rafters of fucking Facebook arguments. But the other crazy thing is, like, you know how you said it makes you feel good from like dopamine? It also, if you say, "Hey, I'm going 2 weeks without Facebook," then you start to feel good without it, right?
I feel great. I feel
Cuz I've
fucking
done that.
great.
I did it last year. I did like 2 months off Facebook completely. And it feels great, but then you just go back cuz you it's like FOMO. You're
Nope,
just FOMO.
you don't go back. Just don't go back.
Okay. Well, we'll see. That was
Okay?
the update. But
So I don't know how we got on this the other day, but it must have been me that said it, and I'm like, I think me and my girl were looking for a movie to watch, and I'm like, and there's like the little sections. I don't remember what we were on, but comedies, rom-coms, but when you're like, that's kind of how we were searching, was based on the genre of movie. And I'm
Parasite.
like, I think I said something that was like, let's what get into. I was like, look, get into cults. I was like, I want to watch a cult movie. You know what I mean? Like a cult classic movie. And she's like, I don't really want to watch a movie about a cult. I'm like, wait, do you know what a cult movie is? She's like, yeah, a movie about cults. And I was like,
Oh yeah.
I fucking died laughing. Like, wait. You thought this whole time it was about cults? She's like, yeah. Like, no, not at all. That's not what a cult movie is.
Is there a genre on whatever app you were using for cult classics?
There's like everyone has cult a
Okay.
section for cult.
Damn.
I thought that was funny. I'm gonna just go through a little segment of making fun of my girlfriend, and then so
Okay.
she started this like roofing type like inspection shit like for this roofing
Nice.
company. Um, and so she's like 2 weeks in or something like that, and she comes home, and she's like, "You're not gonna believe what I did," and she's like, "Yeah, so I crawled up in this attic." Okay, right there. Like literally that's all that came out of her mouth. And I was like, let me stop you right there. I was like, I know exactly what you fucking did today. Do you know what she did? That was all the information I had. And I knew exactly what was coming. Because she
Uh,
had like kind of a worried look, like an exhausted look. She came in, she's like, you're not going to believe what happened to me today. Well, I go up in an attic and I'm like,
is it
you,
spiders or bees or
no, I
something?
was like, you fucking stepped on the drywall, didn't you? And she's
Uh,
like, no one fucking told me to fucking step on the rafters. I'm like, oh my God, you fell through someone's ceiling. And she's like, no one told me.
what the fuck? I've never even heard of someone doing that before.
Her leg was all fucked up, dude. Like, one leg just went straight fucking through. Like,
God.
yeah, so
That's
PSA to anyone that doesn't know that is if you
yeah.
ever go into an attic, you'll see the rafters, you step on the rafters. Do not step on the drywall. They will not support you. It will not happen. You will go right through that shit.
Oh, God.
Luckily, she was in a garage. So, like, the damage was the same, but it's not like going through someone's living room. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, easier to patch up and, you know,
Now
blah,
you
blah.
know. Now you know.
I thought that was hilarious. She's going to be
That's
pissed when she hears all this. You'll be like, fuck you.
it's it's somewhat understandable, but now you know.
Now you know. Ah, what else you got, buddy?
Well, so I was thinking the other day. Well, I had this thing like last year where I was like, there's too much GoFundmes going on in this country. Too
Oh,
many
I get irritated when I see
too many
GoFundMe's.
people are doing GoFundmes. Like for the smallest things. Like and I get it to a certain extent. Now I don't know if you can really have that strong of an opinion of anti GoFundmes because people are really fucked right now. A lot of people. But I was looking at one the other day, and it raised like $25,000 in 24 hours, and I was like, and it was for someone who had passed away. It was for their family, that was left over. So I'm like, damn, that's obviously there's a lot of people that really care about that family. And then there's always the argument people have, or the topic of how many people would show up at your funeral, kind of thing. Like how many people you think would show up at yours, how many people you think would show up at yours. And I'm like, is there some correlation between the GoFundMe, like how big your GoFundMe would be, and like the number at your funeral? But then I'm like, so the numbers at your funeral, I feel, are directly on you. I feel like, say you have no family left and you're a single person, you have no kids or wife or anything like that, you could still do monumental numbers at your funeral. When the GoFundMe is more just for the people that are left behind, right?
Okay, can I throw something in real quick?
I don't
Because
have a lot on this, so I'm open to. I don't know where I'm really going with that
okay,
thought.
because I
Yeah,
have, I don't really know where the end is here, but I'm having a little bit of a thought there. Is
yeah,
is your GoFundMe
yeah,
versus your funeral
yeah,
versus like some other things? I'm gonna
yeah.
throw like a weird anomaly in there where I think you might get confused a little bit. Is
Okay,
let's just run a situation here. Let's say you're fucking captain of the cheerleading squad, banging hot, like 10
okay.
out of 10 fucking hot. Pretty much anything you touch, it doesn't matter if you're the stupidest bitch on the planet,
Yeah,
you're gonna have traction. You don't need it. It doesn't need to be well thought out. You're gonna have traction because there's a bunch of people that want to bang you, or that like want to be associated with you because they know like you're popular or something like
yeah.
that. If you're the hot girl. So if you put a GoFundMe up, she's like, bam, instant traction. You know what I mean? They're gonna be like, good for you, girl. Like and then all these dudes are gonna be like, well, maybe if I donate $100, she'll see that on the GoFundMe. Maybe I'll get laid. You know what I mean? Or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This may be a real piece of shit thing. But then I'm gonna just spitball here. And let's say that she dies. All those dudes don't care anymore because there's no possibility of getting laid. So
Right.
they're not showing up at the funeral.
No.
So 70% of her traction that she had alive is now gone. And they're all like, well, can't get laid in death.
Yeah.
That's all I want to. That's all I want to throw out there. Is
Okay.
that you?
That's interesting. That's an interesting point. Well, and that's kind of what I'm saying. I'm kind of saying that funeral turnout is directly related to just the individual and not the family that they're leaving behind. Whether that be good or bad, like you said, she can now have a small funeral turnout. You know, I don't know. That's weird. But the GoFundMe will be big. Okay, yeah, I guess I kind of see what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Whereas
but
if you're just a super nice person and maybe aren't the most popular person, then you're gonna die, and your GoFundMe's might not do well. But then everyone feels really bad, and they're like, you know what? Fuck, he was such a nice guy. And you remember the time he did that for me? Or something like that. I don't know. Spitballing all again.
yeah. No, that's very.
Like
I mean,
he was the guy at the fucking bar every Friday night that sat there and didn't drink and would give people rides home. It's like, what a stand-up fucking guy. We need to go to that guy's funeral. I need to say something. You
yeah,
know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I don't, and you know, when it comes to numbers at my funeral, I'd think it'd probably be 50 or under.
I don't even know. I don't. It matter. I don't think I would have good turnout. You know, I would. Well, they'd have to
50 or
go back. It would have to go back to Sandpoint. Yeah, I don't know. It would. Yeah,
But then the GoFundMe, say you have like 5 kids and a wife, that GoFundMe is going. Boom. You know
I
what I
don't
mean?
think so. There's
I
so
th-
many GoFundMe's. I don't know. You need some like crazy shit to go down. You need like, you
yeah.
know, some cancer and then find out that you're.
Because people will be like, a GoFundMe for $500 for my dog's surgery. And it's like, okay, that's fine. But it's like, maybe we shouldn't just be GoFunding me every little thing. But I get right now, it's a thing. I'm seeing them everywhere because people are really fucked. So,
The only one I've done is, but it
you've
was
done it for
like pre-decided before the page even started. Was we had this group of friends that all game together, and we had an old friend that we really wanted to game with us, but he's
yeah.
broke. He's fucking broke all the time and couldn't fucking buy anything. So finally, we were just on the Xbox party one time, and we're like, dude, do you guys all just want to fucking throw in fucking $40 and fucking get this kid a fucking new Xbox? You know what I mean? And he's like, we're like, yeah. And we started GoFundMe. We all did it. Bam. That was like my only experience with GoFundMe.
Right. Yeah, I've done a few, but I'm not a fan of it in general. But I get that
I
people
think
are.
this shit irritates me. I think it's just like the GoFundMe is just another like leaf on a branch on a tree of the same thing that irritates me so much with just this culture, this like
Yeah.
this YouTube culture that's like wants to get famous off YouTube. Like, they don't want to do anything else. Like that's or
Yeah.
they just want easy fucking money. Like why am I not famous? You know what I mean? Like why am I not famous and just getting money for free? And it's
Yeah.
like that just goes, with so many different things. Either the YouTube thing, the GoFundMe thing, like fucking. I mean, I get that there's GoFundMe's for legitimate causes, blah blah. Sorry if you're offended by this, but I just
Right.
think the statistics on how many GoFundMe accounts there are is like just a direct correlation to fucking how big a lazy pieces of shit there are just in the world.
Yeah.
Just like no, stop fucking posting this shit. Go get a fucking job, you lazy piece of shit. Like I don't know. I don't.
Yeah. Like when I was broke and the dog needed a $2,400 surgery, I went and had to get a loan for it,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
I paid it off, which sucked ass. But different strokes, different people.
yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
again. It's ridiculous, but I was just looking at one that did 25 grand in a day, which is pretty cool for a family that's left without a fucking provider.
Yeah, okay, like in some
Many
okay,
people.
but then that's what irritates me is you're clouding the fucking waters by your bullshit GoFundMe for things that are
Mm,
like serious. Like let's bring up the Shasta Grony thing again. It's like that was a legitimate GoFundMe. You know what I mean? Like her fucking whole family was murdered. You know what I mean? It's like,
shit.
yeah, let's all get together and fucking buy her a fucking house. You know what I mean? Like she
Did
deserves
that
something.
happen?
Yeah, they raised like 1.5 million or something like that. So what happened is it's actually kind of bullshit. Is what happened is they raised a grip of money, bought her a
Uh,
house, but she was like 4 years old. You know what I mean? So the
oh,
dad moved in to like raise the daughter in the house, and then he pretty much was just trying to take the house, and like, and then a
wow.
bunch like, and then this was like 4 or 5 years ago. A bunch of people were getting pissed, and they're like, "This house isn't for you, dude." Like, this is for your fucking daughter. Like, go fuck off. Like,
Yeah.
and yeah, blah, 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 blah. But,
Damn,
you
that's
know,
crazy. I never knew there was like a thing like that, but that is just nuts.
yeah.
But yeah,
Again, I'm going to promote fucking Time Suck by fucking Dan Cummins. He records out of fucking Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. It's one of the best podcasts there is. I fucking love that guy. But he did one on Shasta and Dylan Groney, and it was a very good fucking episode.
right.
Any murder episode you want to listen to, I would highly suggest going to that guy. Time Suck, Dan Cummins. He's fucking awesome.
Nice. Stop clicking that thing.
Sorry.
Fuck. It's okay.
The
Did you ever watch the show Fargo?
TV show or the movie?
It's the TV show. It's so good. And it's
No.
coming back with Chris Rock, season 4, end of September. This is I'll put the first 2 seasons of Fargo up against any 2 seasons of television ever.
Oh,
It is so good.
whoa.
So every season, different cast, different story. Season 1, perfection. Season 2, perfection. Season 3, in my opinion,
So they're doing like the American Horror Story type deal.
yeah, I guess. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
how
this
how how original.
started in like 2014, and they've done 3 seasons since then. Season 3, not the biggest fan of it. I think they need some redemption, but they got Chris Rock. I think it's going to be fucking phenomenal. It's the only show that will watch week to week. So it's on Amazon Prime or Hulu, one or the other. But if you need a show, you have between now and the end of September to catch up from the first 3 seasons, and then we can watch season 4 together. And I can't fucking wait. It is
Boom.
un.
Dude, shout out to my boy. Fucking my buddy fucking just hooked me up. My buddy Chris just hooked me up fat with a YouTube TV. Dude, YouTube TV is legit. Have you checked that out?
No, is it like $2 a month or something?
No, it's expensive. It's like $60 a month, but it's Dude, it's fucking so legit. It's like cable. I get everything. I get all the sports channels. I mean,
Yeah.
every fucking sports channel, UFC, all comedy, Comedy Central, Cartoon Network, all the local channels, blah 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 blah, with
Yeah.
unlimited DVR space. And then you get 5 people that you can add onto your account. So he just added me onto his account, and
Oh wow.
fucking I mean, it is all commercial. It's like real cable. It's like
Yeah.
it's like just the same as if you had Dish or local cable or whatever. But you have
Yeah.
unlimited DVR. So once you find a show, you just fucking hit add to list, and then it records it on forever, every episode that ever comes up. And
Wow.
fucking dude, I'm telling you, it's fucking good. So I'll check this Fargo thing out. I just had to throw that out there. I was pretty excited about YouTube
Yeah.
TV. And
Well, and
anyone,
the thing kind of is that I guess you don't need to start now and catch up by the end of September if every fucking season's different. I guess it doesn't really matter.
yeah,
I'm
you
just saying.
fucking artard.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's not like you have to catch up on Black Mirror episodes. You can just jump in whenever you want.
Yeah, yeah. I fucking had a buddy that I was working with. I was going off about Black Mirror. I'm like, dude, you gotta watch Black Mirror. You gotta watch Black Mirror. And it's like a construction guy. You know what I mean? And he
Yeah.
fucking comes back the next day and he's like, dude, I don't know what kind of fucking weird ass show you're fucking watching. And I'm like, what? I was like, you didn't like it? And he watched that fucking one about the two dudes that play the video game, and then they have
So
like their whole gay little fucking video game thing going
yeah,
on. And he's like, dude, I don't know what fucking show you're into. And I'm like, no, you got to watch a different episode. I was like, it's
yeah,
not like that. That's not the basis of the show.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to recommend it to my mom, and she's like, "All right, we'll try it." And then she's like, "We didn't even make it through the first episode because the first episode of the whole series is the one where
The dude
some
fucking the pig.
yeah, some princess is kidnapped,
Such
and
a good episode, though. It's
I
such a good
know,
episode.
but I'm like, Mom, this is the thing. Like, if you don't like one, you just go to the next one, and then you might like it. Then you might watch the next one. You might not like it. They're all completely different. But I did see a thing that said the producers of Black Mirror have been working on season 5, and they're so genius that instead of making season 5, they actually orchestrated all of our lives to live out season 5 of Black Mirror. So that's what we're all doing right now is just living out season 5. That's how good of producers that they are.
That would, dude, fucking genius. I really like that. I fucking love that. That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's great.
Did you think of that? Because, props to you if you thought about
No, no,
that.
no. I saw it
Okay.
somewhere.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, that's nice.
Oh, dude, have you been watching? I mean, I'm sure you haven't. Have you caught any of the late night shows?
No.
Dude, shit is weird. We just
Uh,
had YouTube TV on in the background, and I came home, and we weren't really watching. It was just on, and then a late night show came on. Seth Meyers, the most
yeah.
famous one, the one with the Roots playing. I always forget all their names, but fucking dude, it is weird, bro. It is
I thought
like
Jimmy Fallon had the roots.
Jimmy Fallon. That's what I was saying. I can't remember their names. Like
Oh,
I always
oh, yeah,
forget.
yeah,
I always forget the late night guys' names.
yeah.
Because late night's just fucking garbage now in general. It
Yeah.
used to be good. I think late night. We need to have a discussion on when late night died, because I really feel like when Jimmy Kimmel first came out when I was in high school, I really liked him. I thought he was funny, like because
Yeah.
he's fucking been on for 20 fucking years or something. You know what I mean? He's been on for fucking ever. And now
Yeah.
I turn on Jimmy Kimmel and I want to fucking like legitimately go beat the shit out of him. He makes me
Oh,
so fucking mad. Like
I don't
I
like.
hate. He
I don't like.
used to be funny, and then to
Really.
me, whatever. This climate we're in, it has just gone so fucking political. You know what I mean? Like it's just ridiculous, and it's so all those late night shows are so fucking far left. It drives me nuts. I'm sure if you're a Democrat, you're just like it's right, and you're fucking, you're just floating along in your little floaties, and you're just like, I love this. This is
Yeah, but
great.
don't you get tired of it even if you love it? If like say I'm an Eagles fan, do I just want to listen to pro Eagles stuff every night for 30 years? No, I get
Yeah,
tired of
no,
it.
it's I don't I, and I think it's just they're starting. I think just across the board, it's just like it's starting to cave in. It's all starting to cave in. Just like it's all garbage. Like
Yeah.
you can't kick a dead horse fucking for 5 fucking years. Like it's just
Yeah.
not good TV. It's not good entertainment. No one fucking. We've all heard it. We've all heard the same narrative over,
Yeah.
fucking over and
It's
over and
late.
over. It's like they think that like I think Democrat. I mean, whatever. I'll fucking back myself into this Republican Democrat corner all goddamn day. I think Democrats really really feel like Republicans just don't get what they're saying. You know what I mean? Like well, maybe if we repeat it 400 fucking times,
Right.
and then I think after they repeat it that many times, they're just like, well, they must be racist. You know what I mean? Because like I don't know. Like, why do you keep saying it? Why do you keep going on it? But anyways, that isn't even what I wanted to go on. It's just so irritating. I can't watch it. But it's worse now. Holy shit, is it bad? Like,
Oh,
because there's no fucking audience. It's dead silent. Like, absolutely dead fucking silent in the room. It's just him and the fucking Roots dudes, and they're the only fucking, and then they're all separated throughout, like, the fucking room. Like, the
yeah.
drummer's over here, fucking guitar players up, 20 feet up over here. They're all like separated in this room. It's bad, dude. Like then it really makes it like then you really notice how bad the jokes are because it's like in silent room and he's just like tells his little one liner and it's dead silent and you're just sitting in your living room like you feel like it's just you and him and you're like, this is fucking creepy. This is just
Yeah.
weird and these jokes aren't even funny. Like, ugh, it's gross. It's gross.
Well, and it's really, yeah, it's been bad for a long time, and I'll go back as far as anybody wants to argue, wants to say when it went bad, but it's like when it was thriving, kind of, and you had the audiences, you'd have Tom Hanks come and he'd go on Conan, Kimmel, Fallon, Leno. He'd go on everybody promoting the same movie, and it's like
Yeah.
they do the pre-interview interview, which is like, which is someone's backstage being like, so did you have anything weird happen to you recently? It's like, well, I recently lost my suitcase at the airport. It's like, okay, we'll go with that. So then they go out there, and Fallon goes like, so I hear you got a funny story. It's like you recently lost your luggage at the airport. Is that what I'm hearing? And then it's like they go through what they already planned to say, and it's
Yeah.
like, oh my
It's
god.
phony, and then I think another reason why late night is dying, and probably a huge blow to it, is the podcast push because it's not phony. You know what I mean? There's so many like legitimate podcasts that are good
Yeah,
interviews. People like whatever. I get that it's the most, but like Rogan, it's like
yeah,
I would way rather listen to Rogan fucking talk to fucking Post Malone than Post Malone doing his 5 minute section on some show
yeah,
because like you don't even know what's real, what's fake. It's all
yeah.
pre-scripted. It's all fucking phony. It's like I want to hear you for an hour talk so I can really paint a picture. Then you can promote your fucking movie. You know what I mean? Then talk about your movie. But then they're like legitimately talking about the movie. You know what I mean? Because then they have time to like, oh, this was cool, or blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Late night's dead.
It is dead, and it was. I know, I'm not someone who's watched a bunch of Johnny Carson, but it was probably better back then when they're like, like Hunter S. Thompson comes on. They're both like smoking cigarettes and talking, and you don't have the option to just go watch a 3 hour interview. That option ain't available. This is all you got. So it's like this is what I can't come over tonight. The show's on and I want to watch it, and it's probably better. I haven't watched a lot of it, but it was probably better than the shit that the people watch now for some reason. And I don't even think my theory is not even a lot of people watch it. You probably have like 10,000 people watching it,
There's more than 10,000.
maybe 100,000. I mean,
Maybe.
not that, not. You don't have like 10 million. I don't know. It's dead. It's
Yeah,
fucking dead.
it's
It's dead.
garbage. It's garbage. So
Yeah, I
I
can't.
don't know why this reminds my guitar player always has this fucking story he loves to tell. But the story is I can't remember who all the three people were, but it was on the Carson show and it was Dean Martin and then someone else were on that show. And he said
Hmm.
he remembers watching this as a kid and like he's watching the Carson show and you know how they have like the host and then next to the then it'll be like a couch next to him and then like the two people sitting on a couch. And
Yeah,
Dean Martin is supposedly the furthest one away on the couch. You
yeah,
know, like, and then the middle guy, and then there's a table in front of him, and they're all smoking cigars, or they're
yeah,
smoking cigarettes or cigars or whatever, and like they all have drinks and shit. It's old school, and so they
yeah.
all have drinks set out and shit like that. And supposedly he said he remembers watching it, and I can't remember who the guy was. I'm mad that I don't remember who the middle guy was, but he's like telling a fucking like long joke or some shit, and he's like facing the host of the show, and like no one's really laughing, and then Dean Martin keeps taking a puff of his cigarette and then ashing it in the guy's drink, and then every time he does it, the crowd fucking just busts out laughing, and the guy
Yeah.
thinks that they're laughing at his jokes, and it
Oh my.
becomes fucking hilarious because Dean Martin's just being the biggest piece of shit ever, and he just
Right.
every time the dude keeps talking, he just reaches over and flicks his cigar, and the guy's fucking drink, and then just starts. Yeah, I don't know. That would be
Yeah.
fucking hilarious to see on live TV. Like,
Yeah.
holy shit!
Yeah. If you're sitting there watching that, you don't have anything else to watch. Just, you have 3 channels, and you're watching that, and you're picking up on that. Oh my god, be the greatest thing ever. And I was just like,
Oh,
oh yeah. And then she asked me to watch her cat, but then the cat died, and it's like wah wah
yeah,
wah.
yeah.
Oh my god. Well, you want to wait break and wait for our guests?
Yeah, we can do that. We can do it. Okay, guys, we will be back in a second.
All right, we're back with our guest for the week. He is a parts manufacturer for firearms. How's it going, Joe?
It's going.
So, what are you up to? Are you in Idaho or
Yeah,
Washington?
still in Idaho. Yeah.
Just loving it? How's just beautiful summer?
Well, my summer's been wasted a little bit. I work
Yeah.
long hours and I work a swing shift, so I'm asleep when it's nice and I'm working when it's dark. So,
That's horrible.
Oh, gotcha.
I mean, it's not as bad as it sounds. Like I've gotten a lot of good sunsets and I've gotten a lot of early mornings for me, which is like 10 a.m. But no, it's been really good.
Boom. You can.
So you
Oh,
you make parts for guns?
Well, where I currently work, yeah, we make plenty of parts. A lot of it revolves around firearms, and
Gotcha.
we make little widgets here or there. But yeah, we're somewhat diversified, but the bulk of what we make is for firearms.
boom. So you guys don't like assemble anything or anything. You're just making a specific part and then sending it
Well,
out
no,
to the
we
world.
we do we do assemblies, we do sub assemblies and things like that. So
Hmm.
if you want to look at firearms as a whole, and have like uppers, lowers, bulk carrier groups, barrels, things like that, anything that revolves around a sub assembly to give a customer a completed part, we do some of that as well. We do some assembly.
Heck yeah. What got you into this field?
When I was 8, my mom said, "No, you can't have a shotgun."
And so I was like, yeah, I'm doing it.
Yeah, I'm doing it. Yeah, no, this is the second foray into the firearms world. Actually, my first real job in manufacturing that lasted for a little over a year and a half was also in firearms manufacturing. But there was a little bit of a change that happened, and I went to work in aerospace for a while and in the medical field, and now I'm back in the firearms world, which is kind of my bread and butter.
Heck yeah. Well, I'm sure, unless the world falls apart and, laws get a lot different, there's no shortage of making guns, I'm assuming, Sure, that's in high
No, yeah,
demand.
very high demand. Typically, during an election year, we see a bump in sales, and we see a higher demand for parts, accessories, and finished products such as complete firearms.
And
But this year, it's
uh,
sorry. Go ahead.
then I'm assuming this year it's through the fucking roof, because,
Yeah, no, it really is. So an election year is good for us in the summer because that's typically our slow season. But coming into this next election,
Yeah.
we're seeing record sales across the board in any field, in any manufacturer. It doesn't matter who you are, what you make. We're seeing a serious uptick in firearm sales that we don't normally see in an election year, period. And that's part of COVID. That's part of the election cycle we're experiencing. And the other part of it is just, I think people are scared. So
yeah. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know if you've gone in to buy a gun recently, but, at least here in Oregon, it's pretty much all the cheap guns are completely bought. They've been bought out from day one. You can't get any Glocks. The only pistols you can get are, 1911s that you need to spend 1,300 bucks on. You know what I mean? Or
Hmm.
like I wanted a shotgun when this whole thing started. I didn't have a shotgun. And I was like, I'm getting a shotgun. Well, yeah, good luck. The only thing they had was over under, bird hunting guns that cost like $4,000. And then, all the, Remington or whatever the 870s and the Mossbergs, those gone day one. And that's kind of why I ended up with the Benelli M4, was because it was like, well, screw it. I like this gun anyways. But it was the only
That's a good
gun.
shotgun.
It was the only gun left on the shelf. You know what I mean? Because they didn't want to
Yeah.
spend $1,600 on it. You know what I mean? Like they're just like, okay. Um,
Jeez.
yeah, it's crazy. Have you been, Brad? You gone to a gun store in the last since COVID started?
No, no, but I've sold a gun since COVID started.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, because I didn't like it, and someone wanted it, so I said okay. But I do hear things about people going to gun stores and there being like a line around the block.
yeah,
It's like
yeah.
craziness.
When I went to go get the shotgun, you had to call. You went in, signed a piece of paper, and they called you like 4 hours later. And you're like, okay, you have to come now. Get in line. Like you had to go sign up on a list to
Gosh.
go get in line to go get a gun. Yeah, it's crazy. Is it like that in
So I
Idaho
guess
right now? Have you gone to go get a gun
Um,
or been
you
to a
know,
gun store?
I've the gun part, the actual like physical firearm part, has not been a problem for me. The problem has been finding ammo at a
Yeah,
reasonable price. Just like you said, finding a cheap firearm, that's still an option up here for sure. But the one thing that went right away was the cheap ammo.
yeah,
So if you were
yeah,
looking for range ammo in whatever caliber you were looking for, good luck finding it now.
yeah.
Those who are reloading are still having a decent time finding cheap primers, powder, bullets, and if they're lucky, they have spare casings lying around to do their own reloading. But as far as stock ammo on the shelf, that's our big stopgap right now for actually finding stuff.
Well, and I remember it was like 2013 or something, 2012 must have been around election time. Even if you could find it, they'd still be like limit 2 boxes per customer.
Well,
Shit like that.
that happened the minute we were looking at going into the whole shelter in place lockdown. I mean, so if we follow the progression from let's see here, California to Washington, Oregon to Idaho, we saw it
Yeah.
basically wrap around right to us. And right before the shelter in place stuff went into effect, people were just buying the ammo. And I went to go look for some 9mm, and the only thing I could find was some Winchester HWP, something really expensive, not so good hollow point ammunition. That's all I could find, and I could only buy 2 boxes.
yeah.
Right. Do you reload though?
If I had the equipment still, yeah, I sold my stuff
Yeah.
like 2 years ago. Bad timing.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's you always see those guys sometimes you see those guys at the range going around just picking up,
Yeah.
brass. Always looking for brass. Yeah.
Ah, heck yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I did have, I don't know, like, you're, I don't know, I'm assuming you're pretty knowledgeable with guns, but I did kind of have a question we were talking about last week is, and maybe you can enlighten me why this is, but on that Benelli M4, again, I really have never had a shotgun before, but on that Benelli M4, I went out, shot about 100 rounds through it, and took it home, tore it all apart, and started cleaning the bore, and it just wouldn't clean. And I've never experienced that with any other gun, like
Hmm.
like a 22 or anything like that. Like, dude, it's pretty easy to clean. You just run some solvent through it, a few rag passes through it, pretty much good. Dude, that shotgun would not clean like at all. It just like you look down it and it was just gummed up all the way through. And finally, I had to go get a brass brush, and I fucking scrubbed it for like 5 minutes, and finally it cleaned. But I spent probably 4 hours on that bore, and I didn't
Hmm.
understand what it was. I was like, "Are you supposed to lube them before you fucking go shoot them?" I didn't get it. I didn't understand what it was.
Well, shotguns are smooth bore typically, and I'm assuming the M4, the one you have, has a removable choke at the end of the barrel.
Yeah,
Okay, so typically when I clean my shotguns, is I remove the choke first, because if you're going to catch anything, like if you run a snake through it or you run a wad through it, if you remove the choke first, you're going to guarantee that nothing's going to hang up and you can just clean it out. It also gives you the opportunity to clean the threads that the choke goes on, and then clean the choke as a separate unit and then put it all back together. And then if you still find gunk in there, yeah, you can run a brass brush down there, but it depends on the ammo that you're shooting. Like, were you shooting target loads? What brand were you shooting?
I was
Like,
shooting.
how many rounds did
I
you
was
shoot?
shooting 3 different loads. I was shooting, but I couldn't find a lot. That was an issue. Was the only thing they had at the stores is target loads, and I found I found like 2 boxes of buckshot and a box of slugs, and so I shot maybe 10 slugs through it, maybe 10 buckshot, and then probably 80,
Excuse me.
70, 80 rounds of target loads?
So, so buckshot and slug. Yeah, you can still use them for target shooting, but the problem with buckshot and slugs is you can't, when you switch from buckshot to slugs, usually you want to look at swapping your choke first. I would definitely inspect your choke for any damage. But secondly, those are hot loads, which means that any unburnt powder will definitely get stuck in your barrel. I mean, they run hot. So if it was super grimed up, it's probably due to the fact they were shooting what they considered a high pressure load.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So
So
there's more gas involved, and it can be a bit more aggressive to clean afterwards. But yeah, there's just a bit more going on with that cartridge.
okay, so you expect that anytime you're going to be shooting buckshot or slugs.
Yeah, and especially with slugs, depending on your manufacturer, you really shouldn't go cheap on your slugs because that can eventually lead to excess barrel wear. Typically, shotgun slugs are rifled, or they're going to be inside basically a plastic bushing that rides down the barrel so you don't scratch up your barrel. So if you're running rifled slugs, yeah, that could explain a little bit of why you're seeing a bit more barrel fouling than normal, because that physically contacts your barrel wall and it spins itself as it comes out versus the
Oh, so then
barrel
it just
spinning
like
the bullet
compacted
spins
it.
itself. Correct. Yeah, just rubbed it all the way down that barrel.
Huh.
Hmm.
Okay. I guess that makes sense. I was so confused.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you shoot, I mean, I've shot 400 rounds of 223 through an AR, and 3 minutes of clean time, and it's a brand new barrel. You know what I mean? Like,
It's because ARs are rifled in the barrel, and shotgun slugs, the slugs themselves have rifling on them. So the
that makes
round
sense.
spins itself versus the barrel spinning the round. So that typically can lead to a bit of excess barrel fouling for sure.
That makes sense.
So, I mean, is firearms parts manufacturing like the dream job? Is that are you set? Or is this what it's going to be forever, or you got higher or other aspirations?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I thought I had higher aspirations about 2 years ago when I decided to switch jobs from my first long-term employer in manufacturing to working for a company that specialized in medical and aerospace.
Hmm.
It was super tight tolerance work. It was with really nice machinery. Like I got to work on some of the nicest equipment imaginable. Had a lot of resources at my disposal. Had really good inspection equipment. Had really good tooling. We had good programmers, but at the end of the day, it wasn't what I wanted. The
Right.
requirements for medical and aerospace are incredibly restricting. Some mistakes are okay, most are not.
Yeah.
And some of the times you didn't have clear cut definitions of what you could get away with and what was acceptable to the customer. You just would be given a work order and say, go.
Yeah.
And if the customer came back and said, nope, this is not what we wanted, didn't matter what the work order said, it's your fault. So um,
Yeah.
getting back in the firearms world is just something I enjoy because it is my passion. I'm definitely a gun enthusiast. I'm a big supporter of the Second Amendment, and
Yeah.
it's it's something that I think is important. So
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. It's very important.
Did you guys hear
Yeah.
about this? Kind of relative. I had it written down for after this, but uh, I think it was yesterday at 1 o'clock that California Ninth District Court overruled their 10 magazine ban. So now they can go back
Yeah, I did see that.
to high round mags in California. Big old fucking deal, California. They've been stuck at 10 rounds forever.
Oh,
well,
really?
yeah. So that
What
ruling
school?
actually was something that came down. I would say a couple months ago. This was something that was going through the circuits, and they just ratified it a few days ago. But this is something that's been in the works for a,
Yeah.
a long time coming. They found it unconstitutional, and
Uh
now
huh.
they finally slapped California on the wrist about it.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm sure anybody that's listening in California, hoorah to you. You're fucking. Yeah, I'm sure you're happy if you're a gun owner. I'd be pissed with 10 rounds. That's bullshit.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Ten's a warm up.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but I also when I saw that they ruled it unconstitutional or whatever, I was kind of just thinking, mate. I mean, I feel like kind of when a mass shooting happens, then the stuff kind of gets passed
Yeah, yeah.
to restrictions, but then when it hasn't happened for a while, maybe it kind of gets then it all kind of gets reversed. But I don't know. It's
Everyone's
I didn't all
reactive in nature, you know.
Yeah, I just kind of saw the headline that said they ruled 10-round mags unconstitutional. But I was like, yeah, 10-round mags are ridiculous.
Yep, yep. Um,
Well,
boom.
you got anything else?
I don't.
Well, Joe, thanks, man.
Yeah, my pleasure.
It was good talking to you.
Yeah, thanks
Yeah,
for
man. Good catching up. Thanks for having me.
thanks
Appreciate
for
it.
yeah,
Heck yeah,
nice meeting
man.
you, man. Rock and roll.
You know it.
And we are back.
All right, we're back. Thanks, Joe, for coming on talking about guns.
Hell
We're
yeah.
certainly a pro Second Amendment show.
Hell yeah. It seems that way. It seems that way. We need to push the tides another direction. You know, we had Steve in here, holding it back for a minute and then fucking came crashing back down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. So I got a thing.
Uh-oh.
Um.
Uh-oh.
So I'm not sure how to introduce this, but you know who who he is, right? That guy. You know the guy that we got, the guy with the beard over in the desert.
What the fuck are you talking about, bro?
That guy. You know that guy, Osama.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So apparently, this is news to me. Mr. Osama bin Laden, Mr. Laden, Osama, had a bunch of hard drives in his compound. All right.
Okay.
So when we went over there and killed him, bullet to the eye and a bullet to the chest, I think. Eventually his compound was raided and these hard drives were seized. Well, what happened was, uh, God damn it. Um, in 2017, November, you remember 2017, the CIA,
Sure. Sure. I remember
the,
2017.
the CIA, the Central Intelligence Agency, uploaded everything that was recovered from these hard drives onto their official website. And I didn't really know about this until a few days ago. They they withheld anything that was copyright or pornography or malware. So what ended up being uploaded was to about 258 gigs of content off of Osama bin Laden's hard drives. Now, Osama bin Laden had like, I don't know, a dozen wives and like 25 kids. So a lot of people on Reddit, Reddit, they they think that most of this content was for the kids, but it's kind of a little more fun if you think about that it's just Osama sitting around with his feet up, eating crackers and hummus, and watching the stuff on here. Anyway, okay, hang on, I gotta stick to my notes a little bit. Okay, so some of the stuff that was withheld from the upload is like the movie Ants, um, the movie Cars, the movie Chicken Little, a Final Fantasy movie, an Ice Age movie, a bunch of National Geographic documentaries, a movie called Where in the World is Osama bin Laden? So those are some of the things that were withheld. Some of the things that were actually uploaded, and I'll put the link of this upload in the good old description of the episode because you're free to download anything that was uploaded, which I accidentally downloaded some of it, but you're free to download it, right? So there's over 100 Tom and Jerry episodes.
Nice.
There's a bunch of old Jackie Chan movies. There's the movie Shrek with Arabic subtitles. There's a 15-part documentary on the history of Britain. There's a bunch of funny cat videos. And then there's a bunch of like IED videos and war videos of like IEDs going off. And so I was scrolling before I realized that they withheld any pornography. I was scrolling through the videos on the hard drives being like, there's got to be porn on here. There just fucking has to be. And I couldn't find any. And a lot of the titles of this stuff is just like 017658.mp4. And you're like, I don't know about that. So I accidentally downloaded a Pink Panther cartoon episode off of Osama bin Laden's hard drive because I didn't know that right when if I just clicked on the file, it would just automatically start downloading. And then I opened it and it's a Pink Panther cartoon, and I'm like, fuck me.
With
As
Arabic
an accident.
subtitles?
No,
Could he
no,
speak English?
I have no idea. I don't know this guy very well. We just have both downloaded the same stuff off of the same hard drive or whatever. Oh, then there's a bunch of crochet videos. How to crochet a butterfly, a phone case, an iPod sock, a basket, a beanie. Bunch of crochet video, like instructional videos. It's so crazy to think about. Um, so then I was going to the audio and I was trying to find music. I was trying to find like American music, like Michael Jackson or something. And all the audio files that I could find, because the audio files, if you click on them, it just plays it on the website. So that's what I thought was going to happen with the Pink Panther. But all the audio files I could find were like these crazy Arabic speeches, like people yelling speeches, and I'm like, oh my god. And then some Arabic music. And then I did the closest thing I could fucking find to American music was like this short little Jim Morrison soundbite of Jim Morrison saying like 4 words, and that was it. But it was just really fucking nutty spending an hour the other day going through his hard drive. It's just crazy. Just over so if you during this time of our lack of entertainment in this country, if you need something to watch, you can just follow the link and go. You can watch all the Tom and Jerry that you want, or the Jackie Chan movies, or a 15-part documentary about the history of Britain. Whatever your heart desires.
Boom. It says here, according to Michael Skewer, bin Laden claims to speak only Arabic. In 1998 interview he had with English questions translated into Arabic, but others such as Ramahallah, Yasfazi, and Peter Bergen believe he understood English. So it's up for debate. I wonder if he
It's up for debate.
I wonder if he could speak English. Be interesting.
I bet he
It
could.
said he was also, as I was glancing through his Wikipedia, it said he was super into Arsenal, the soccer team in
Oh
England.
yeah, yeah. It's fucking nutty.
It's crazy to
I
think
need
of
to watch.
people like that, different, like, he just gets painted in this, obvious. I'm not justifying that I don't
Oh
really know anything about the guy. I mean, honestly, like, I just know that he was, a terrorist on the top 10 list for a long time. Um,
yeah.
But it's crazy to think about these. Yeah, like what if he was just fucking, he got the rabbit. Ah! You know what I mean? Just like fucking watching these fucking cartoon movies and shit like that. And just like, yeah, sitting
Yeah.
there watching, a soccer game, Arsenal, and just like, ooh, hello, 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 sitting there
Yeah.
drinking a beer, fucking, yeah, like,
A, a Corona Rita or
yeah,
whatever.
drinking a little
Fucking.
Corona Rita, like, there's only 7 ounces, you fucking idiot.
Oh my god. Yeah, he's pouring into a mason jar.
Yeah.
Fucking. Yeah, it's just like why over 100 Tom and Jerry episodes? It's it must have just been for his kids, but it's kind of funny to think about it that it's for him, you know. I don't
Maybe he
know.
was doing his research, like, trying to infiltrate Americans, and he's just like, okay, what are Americans into? Tom and Jerry.
Yeah. I mean, and so I accidentally downloaded fucking I can't believe I did that. God damn it. I just hope that there's no permanent side effects of that. But cuz I was going through the audio and when you click on it, it just plays it. So then I'm going through the video and I'm like, Pink Panther, click, and then it just boom, downloaded instantly. Fuck me.
You thought maybe some porn slipped through. You're like, oh, Pink Panther. Let's check this out.
Or but then I'm like, it's the CIA's website. This has got to be okay. It's not like,
Yeah, they're not going to
the
be
tower.
uploading viruses to the CIA website. Is that what you were?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not like Al Qaeda is now like knows where I live, but
Yeah.
you know, I'm sure the CIA is, and it's just weird that they uploaded all of
What
it.
if one of
Freaks
those
me out.
what if like there was an Al Qaeda guy or an ISIS dude like listening to our show over there? You know what I mean? Like they get the next fucking they get the next hard drive and they got, every episode of the Eric and Brad show with Arabic subtitles underneath it.
Oh my God. That would be terrifying. Because I was thinking about that when it's like he had Shrek with Arabic subtitles. I'm like, that's kind of weird for like Eddie Murphy or Mike Myers in the movie to if you told them like your movie was recovered from Osama bin Laden's hard drive. I would feel really weird about it. I'd be like, what? Like the guy that orchestrated 9/11 is sitting around watching my movie, like my voice echoing through his hallways, the wings of his mansion. I don't know. That's fucked
Isn't
up.
it weird? Like, this is slightly off topic, but I mean, kind of not on topic. Isn't it weird how we glorify some, like, it's just funny to me how some things are, like, deemed super fucking evil, and then some things are, like, glorified by, like, let's just say, like, Americans. Like, for example, like, Fight Club is legitimately, like, all based around destroying all these fucking buildings to wipe out credit. You know what I mean? And it's like,
Yeah.
I get that in that movie they're saying like no one was going to die, it was going to be empty buildings. But it's still like that was
Yeah.
like a massive act of terrorism. I get that it's a piece of fiction, but it's like a lot of people can wrap their head around that idea and be like, yeah, fuck yeah. You know what I mean? And then, like I'm not justifying this. I just think it's an interesting thing to think about is like,
I don't
to
agree.
them like they were doing that for like a reason. You know what I mean? They weren't just out there like to just kill a bunch of people for willy-nilly. You know what I mean? It's like they're raised their whole life as like the West is like ruined the world. You know what I mean? Like fucking
Yeah.
they blame all their fucking I guarantee I don't fuck. I'm just spitballing some fucking ideas out there. Maybe toss it around, throw it in there. Maybe this picture we painted of, the rest of the world maybe is a little bit shadowed in one direction. You know what I mean? And there's probably a good amount of people out there that are fucking real pissed off at, Western society and are just like, you guys have
Yeah.
fucking ruined the fucking world. And they could justify a terrorist attack. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I see what you're saying. I mean, it's I just feel like why don't you have anything better to do with your time? But I can I guess see the kid over in some shithole country who is just full of hate
Yeah, they're
against
over there
some
like they're looking at and all this oil is getting exported out of their countries and they're like, you guys are all fucking getting rich off this and I'm fucking, living in a fucking dirt hole, you piece of shit. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
fucking yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think it's something to maybe think about.
Yeah, but I mean while the somewhat I guess relatable kind of reaction is to react against that country, it's still not the right way to do it. You got to just fix your home. Just fix your home, I guess. But it's like Americans, we are obsessed with serial killers. We fucking love serial killers. We can't get enough. We can't. It's like, oh, and then he chopped the leg, and then he chopped the leg 3 times, and then he cooked it and he ate it. It's like we love it. It's like, oh,
Yeah,
then
murder
did he?
porn. Murder porn's great.
Yeah. Oh, we love it. But I don't know. We're fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know where I was really going with that. Sometimes you never think about that. Sometimes maybe trying to take the point of view of maybe things in past history or things that are like new and just trying to wrap your head around like maybe these other people see it like totally differently. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you know, they didn't
Empathy.
convince Nazi Germany to fucking round up a bunch of Jews just by like coming out of the gate saying like, you know what, we hate Jews. You know what I mean? Like that. That's not how you get to that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's a reason. They got shit on after World War II. Just like our World War One. You know what I mean? Germany was like at the knees of every other country, and then they feel like they're getting shit on. It's like can you wrap your head around it a little bit? Like, yeah, it's incredibly evil what the Nazis did, but it's like, there's just everybody has a justification for shit. You know what I mean? They see it
Yeah.
differently. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I don't know. Just sometimes maybe try to step. I'm not saying that it wasn't evil what
Yeah.
happened. I'm not saying that 9/11 wasn't all evil. 100% evil. I'm just saying maybe once in a while stop and think about the other side of it. Is like, what led people to get to this point? Led people to be so fucking pissed off. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like it's like those this was the war that happened and those were the good guys, those were the bad guys. It's like, well, didn't the bad guys think that they were the good
Yeah,
guys?
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Everyone does. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a
exactly.
whole country of just evil, malicious people. You know what I mean? That never is going to happen. You're going to have good people in a country. Like, but it's just whatever the circumstances are. And I feel like Americans, especially, are just most people. They don't really even do any digging. You know, it's just like, nope, they're bad. You know what I mean? It's like, well, think about what happened. You know, think about what was going on in their country. You know what I mean? There's a lot,
Yeah.
and every country has extensive history that gets painted with this real broad brush. You know what I mean? And you just
Yeah.
get a little snippet of it, and it's like, well, there's actually a lot of shit going on. Like Russia, for example. There's so much history in Russia. You know what I mean? And you can just,
Yeah.
we pretty much skim over Russia real quick. You know what I mean? With a fucking half an hour fucking, okay, you got Lenin, you got blah, 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 blah. This happened, this happened, this happened. Well, fuck. Russia's been around for a fucking minute. You know what I mean? And it is huge. There's obviously a lot of shit going on there, and you can't just, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Just a little rant.
Yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I forgot what I was gonna say.
See, I just railroad
Fuck.
things real
Oh,
good. I'm real good at that.
yeah. Um, no, that's okay. It's like, yeah, but say you're a soldier and you're fucking sleeping in a trench and they tell you to go do something. You don't have time to be like, well, don't they think they're the good guys too? And da da da. You kind of have to just be like, oh, they're the bad guys, and I'm gonna fucking kill them. You don't have time to fucking sit around and do all that
Did
thinking.
did dude? I feel like I don't know if I brought this up on the last episode, but when I was a few weeks ago, I got to talking with this dude. I mean, he's like 80. What?
Nothing. Never mind. Keep going.
I got to talking with this dude. He's I'm not gonna. I'm trying to figure out how I need to word this because this is not good. So I'm gonna leave all information out about this guy as absolutely possible. I've known him for a long time. He's a very old guy, a very interesting guy, and we met up with him, and I got to talking with him, and there was a bunch of things I've never really got to sit down and like really really talk to him. It's always been in like a just a real quick passing way, just like at a party or something, to where it's like, hey, how you doing? How's it? Blah 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 blah. But we like really sat down and got to talking, and something came up about him speaking a different language, and I was like, "Oh, you can speak a different language?" He's like, "I can speak 5 languages," and I'm like, "Oh, what?" I'm like, "Get out of here!" And he's like, "Yeah," and it wasn't Russian; it was a border country of Russia. It sounds Russian, but it's not Russian. But he's like, "That's my native language," and then he's like, "Well," and then I just keep asking him and keep asking him, and I'm like, "What? How did you learn these languages?" He's like, "Well, I was born in fucking was it Poland? It wasn't Poland, but Yugoslavia, Czech,
Yeah.
something like that. A border country close to Germany, close to fucking Russia. That's more a Russian country." Um, he's like, "Oh, I was born there, and then we moved into Berlin, and blah blah blah." And then he's like, "But then we had to spur." And I was like, "Wait, what year was this?" And he's like, "Oh, 1935 or something like that." And I was like, "Wait," or I was like, "What?" And
What?
he's like, or whatever the year was. I'm like, "Wait, like during World War II?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, and then he's like, "I had to learn how to speak Russian." He said, "Me and my sister were walking down the street, and our 19, it was like at the end of the war or something like that. So 1940 would have been like 44 or something, because it was like he moved to the United States in 1945, like right before the war ended, and fucking
Wow. How
but
old is this guy?
is
Fucking ancient.
he was like 7 in 1945 or something like that, 8 in
Right.
1945 or something like that.
Okay. Okay.
But we get to talking, and it was real funny how he said this. And I respect the shit out of this guy. So whatever you want to say, but and it was me and my girlfriend talked about it afterwards. Like, did you catch how he said that? And he said, "My dad was a soldier for Germany." He didn't say Nazi. You know what I mean? Like, very clear about
Oh
that.
my god.
And I'm just like, holy shit. You know what I mean? And I was like, "Did you catch that?" And she's like, "I did catch that." And he fucking slipped it in real quick. You know what I mean? Like, real fucking glazed over it as fast as possible. I don't know, but it was like, this guy was a good guy, and I just get a feeling like his family wasn't this evil fucking family. You know what I mean? It was just you're there,
Okay.
you're in the situation. You know what I mean? Like you can't just paint this. There was so much going on at that time. Like I mean, you could spend years. You know what I mean? Fucking going over all the different factors that were going on in Germany in 1940. You know what I mean? It was fucking
Yeah.
bananas. All the shit that was going on. It wasn't just like this anti-Jew. You know, just we fucking hate Jews. You know what I mean? That wasn't what was all going on. I don't know. And it was like there's a lot of in any situation like that. There's obviously a lot of good people that get stuck in shitty situations. You know what I mean? And it's like
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I guess a real long-winded way of just like maybe wrap your head around that. You know,
Well,
things aren't
yeah.
things aren't just simple, cut and dry. Like fucking people are you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Sorry, I'm going down this path.
If that guy's dad was a soldier for Germany, you're at that point. I think you're a bad person.
I totally
But
disagree with you. I totally disagree
that
with you.
that's saying that about the dad, not him. You
Well, no,
can't
but
blame
okay. He
the sins of your
okay, no, no, no,
father.
no. If you're in that situation, if he doesn't join Germany, they're in a foreign country. They don't even like really speak German. You know what I mean? They have to learn it ASAP. You know what I mean? There's so much like on the line there. And he at the
Yeah.
end of this whole journey, he ends up getting his whole family over to America. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're not a fucking piece of shit. You had to do what you had to fucking do. You know what I mean? Like, what, you're gonna take some moral fucking stance and end up dying and ruining your whole fucking family? No. No.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, that's what I mean. It's real easy for people to be like, I wouldn't have fucking done that. Shut the fuck up. You sat on YouTube
Well,
all fucking day and you fucking ordered your food off fucking Uber Eats and you think if you were in a situation where fucking people are being slaughtered around you that you're gonna have the fucking balls to stand up for some moral fucking thing. No, you're not. You're gonna fall in line like the rest of fucking everybody else. You know what I mean? You're gonna be like, oh, shit, shit.
well, the thing is, we don't know exactly what happened, But I see what you're saying. It's like everybody wants to be like, "Oh, I'd be the one that said like stop, don't hurt that person." Everybody wants to be like, "I'd be the one that would say that." But then you see, the truth is statistically you wouldn't be
Yeah, look at all the
because
people on the streets when
yeah,
something breaks out. No one does shit anymore. They just pull out their fucking
right.
phone and film it. You know what I mean? And it's like you see these crazy situations. Like, why is no one stepping in? Because they're all fucking pussies. You know what I mean? They all hide behind their fucking phone. Some woman's like getting mugged, and instead of helping, they fucking hey, look at this. This could give me a few million views on YouTube. It's like, wow, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I mean I hear someone, I can't remember, someone was saying like, all the people who are like calling in, looking out the blinds of their house being like, there's people having a barbecue at the park because of like COVID stuff, how you're not supposed to have things.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, oh, so you'd be the first person when like the Nazis are coming down the street to just start fucking goose stepping along and fall right in line.
Yeah.
And you kind of don't want to be like that. You want to have a little more resistance to just being a part of a bad thing. But I think there's a thing that says statistically, like say a woman's getting mugged or there's a riot or whatever, that the majority of people just stand there and they wait for someone to do something and then they start doing something. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just, so even if you're saying like you guys are pussies, you're gonna fall right in line. Statistically, we all are.
Yeah.
Because we're not like the
No, no, and
1% of a huge.
I'm not on some high horse saying I'm better than anybody, but I'm just
Right,
saying,
right.
stop. I think it's a real thing we do a lot is just painting with fucking huge, big old broad brushes, and just like, nah,
Yeah,
all pieces of shit. Fucking
yeah,
all pieces of shit. It's like, there's a little bit more to every fucking story. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
give people the
yeah,
benefit of the doubt, no matter what.
yeah.
I do
I
want to
agree.
throw this out. It's kind of relative to this. I got so fucking mad the other day. I got into an argument with this guy. We were drunk, but oh man, I got heated, real fucking the most heated I've been in a long fucking time. Because
Okay.
we're going down this whole Republican fucking Democrat, same fucking bullshit always. But it
Yeah,
comes down to black people and slavery and blah 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 blah, and somehow it gets to the point of like comparing the struggle between black people and Jewish people. And whatever you want to say, I was like, dude, the struggle that black people have had is only like a 400-year-old struggle. As soon as triangle trade got involved, that's when shit got real bad for black people. And I was like, and then comparing that to Jewish people, they've had like 2,000 years of being fucking shit on. You know what I mean? Like throughout history, they've just gotten shit on and gotten shit on and gotten shit on and gotten shit on. They've never had a land of their own. They've been kicked out of like everywhere. You know, they've been massacred multiple fucking times. And yeah, I got so fucking upset about it. I was so fucking mad. And I don't know. Yeah, sorry. Sorry, I know this is a real weird subject, but man, we got heated on it. And he's like, no. He's like, you're wrong. You're absolutely wrong. And I'm like, no, I am not. I am not fucking wrong.
Crazy. I don't know. I don't have much to say about that.
Yeah,
I
you're
mean,
not going to dig yourself into that hole.
well, no, I guess I don't know too much about the history of the Jewish people.
I don't think
I
a
have
lot
no
of
idea.
people do. And I think it all started because it was like, it was this racist thing, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I think what I was saying is, I was like, you can definitely be racist against white people. Like, and I was like, perfect example is Jewish people have been shit on so fucking hard, and they're essentially white. You know what I mean? Like, fucking.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, no, blah, 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 blah. And then just like, well, other than World War II, they haven't had that bad. And I was like, yeah, they have. And I was like, even World War II alone, I mean, you want to really compare slavery versus genocide. I don't know. You know what I mean? That was pretty fucking brutal what happened in World War II. Like, very
Yeah.
fucking brutal. And it's like, I mean, slavery, I'm not saying slavery's all good and gravy, but I mean, like, they were
No,
getting,
it's fun.
like a lot of that was a lot of black people fucking enslaving their own black people and then selling them to fucking white people. You know what I mean? And then getting shipped over here. It was like, so
Yeah.
there's at least some blame there on not, we just didn't go over and start massacring and stealing people. Whereas like in Germany, they're just rounding people up and gassing them. Warsaw, just sticking them in the Warsaw ghetto. And fucking that shit was brutal, man. Brutally fucking brutal. I don't know. But then there's throughout history, it's been fucking 2,000. I mean, I'm not no master of Jewish history, but I mean, a lot of
Yeah.
this just comes from. I remember on Joe Rogan had an episode a while ago where they had some lady on there that was like wrote a book all about this, and she went off on the history of the Jewish people. It was all about how like anti-Semitic shit's starting to come up again, and for some reason, it's exactly the same argument I'm saying right now. Is for some reason it's like acceptable again to be anti-Semitic. Fucking can't speak. Um, there's just it's up and from the end of World War II up until like 2000. Don't fucking pretty shitty move to be talking shit on Jewish people. Whereas as the years have gone on in the last 20 years, it's kind of faded away. And now it's as long if you look white, get the fuck out of here on bitching about your struggle. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like Jewish people have lost their fucking, have lost the top rung of being the most shit on people. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
now it's minorities. You have to have dark skin to have it.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, you're not
think-
passionate about the subject at all.
Well, I'm not. I like everybody. There's no race that I hate. You know?
Okay.
But apparently today, if you're not anti-racist, then you're pro-racist
Oh yeah.
or some shit.
Faux
Yeah.
show.
Actively anti-racist. I think human beings are all going to hell.
Yeah, most of them. That's for sure. Not me. I'm gonna be drinking.
No, I
I'm
think
gonna
we
be
all
drinking
are.
cornitas with fucking Jesus here. We're gonna be.
Well, Jesus was a Jew.
Yeah, he's up there right now, like, that's right, brother. Damn right, brother.
I think just from what we've done to animals, we're all guilty by association, and the planet. But that's just me. Before you even get to humans, just what we've done to animals: shitty SeaWorld, zoos,
Dude,
the Cove,
I
the
saw.
Japanese, who I love, slaughtering dolphins.
I
We're all
saw.
going to hell.
I saw a fucking photo the other day, dude, or a video, and it really fucked with me. And I guess this kind of ties into seeing things in a different, trying to see things differently than you've seen them or looked at them. But I saw a fucking video of someone fucking, I don't know what it was, a National Geographic. I don't remember where I saw it, but it was a video of someone cooking a fucking cat. And it was like the cat was done and they were like going to eat it. You know what I mean? And fucking, oh,
God damn it.
it was so sad. And then, but it really made me think like, dude, if that was a raccoon, I would have zero problem seeing it. If it was a fucking
Yeah.
squirrel, anything. And maybe these fucking tree huggers are onto something here. You know what I mean? Maybe they are morally more fucking sound than me by like loving cows and loving goats and loving fucking, going all vegan. I mean, I just again try to see it from someone else's
Yeah.
point of view. Fucking
It's
look
like
into it
if
a little bit.
the only reason you're not comfortable eating a dog or eating a horse is just because you weren't raised that way, right? It's not like you'll more than happily be drunk as fuck diving into a bowl of chicken and just eating the chicken and just like a fucking fried chicken and you won't give a shit, right? It's just
Yeah,
normal.
yeah,
But in another country, it could be like dog meat, and you'd be like, "Oh, this is the most fucked up thing ever." But I think it's all fucked up. We're all fucked.
yeah. It really hit me hard. I was like, I saw that cat and I was fucking sad. I was just like, oh my
Yeah.
God. Like, I just imagine my kitty cat. I could put my kitty cat in that cat's
Yeah.
position, and I'm just like, oh, you bastards, you bastards.
Yeah, for sure. Well, you got anything
I,
else?
I got a lot more. Are you wanting to wrap this bitch up? I mean,
No.
I'm starting to feel like I'm really fucking coming in, fucking jab, 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 swing, swing,
Good.
fucking
Good. We need the old Eric.
yeah, yeah.
What else?
Um, did you hear?
Oh, here.
Okay.
I'll just. I got this.
Oh shit, going old school, 32 gig spin wheel iPod, bringing it
It's 80
back.
gig.
Steve Jobs,
80 gig. I don't
80
know if you can hear
gig.
me. Can
Oh,
you hear that?
oh, dude, that is I just got a nostalgia boner. Jesus Christ,
But
that was good. That was good. Give me
here's
another fix. Give me another fix. Give me another fix.
um. Can you hear it?
Oh yeah, I can hear. Oh, oh, oh. Woo! Takes me back.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this thing. I don't know why I bought it. I'm like, when am I going to use this? I'm not going to take it in my car with me, you know? I don't know what I'm supposed to
It
do
doesn't
with
have
it.
fucking Bluetooth, man. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know. God damn it. And if you want a podcast on here, you'd have to download it on your computer and then put it on here, which is what I used to do.
But that's so
God
like
damn it.
so old school. I mean that's so
Yeah,
many more steps than just, walking
I
around
know.
like search, 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 play, stream. No,
Yeah, I
no,
don't know.
what you do, this is what you do with it is you fucking well, you're never going to do this cuz you're not that guy. But what you do is you
No.
build your fucking play build the that's your mixtape. That's your mixtape right there. That's you build that mixtape. You fucking deck that iPod out with the best of the best shit. Not that just fucking bam and then you have it. And then if you're at it, then when you have your party and all your friends come over, so there's like 3 of you guys hanging out, you plug that bitch in, fucking hit play, boom, fucking no?
Okay.
I mean
I
that's
mean, I'm never having a party. I haven't had a party since like 2007, so
Well, maybe now you've spent the money on the iPod. You need to fill it up, and then once you've done all that work, you're gonna feel like, well, I've already spent the money. I've already done all this work. Well, now I have to have a party to
right.
justify all the money I just spent, just to listen to this iPod.
I think it'd be a really good like talking piece. So say I'm at a party that I'm not throwing or somewhere social and I just whip this thing out and just hand it to somebody
Let me see your aux cord, bud.
and they would be like what the fuck is this kind of thing.
Exactly.
So that would be I think that would be pretty sweet cuz you'd always want to see your friend's iPod and go through their artists and be like, what kind of person am I dealing with here? Like let me see your iPod, let me go through your music and you could just completely judge them of what they got there. They got a little Katy Perry, they got a little fucking The Doors, what do they got? What am I dealing with? I don't know.
I dig it.
I'm I ordered it in a completely nostalgic fucking delusion.
It's,
So
I
here we
I
are.
love it, bud. I think you'll enjoy it.
Okay.
Um, so I have this is kind of a two-parter. I'm throwing a moral first, and then we'll go into the next part. The moral is pick up hitchhikers. That's the whole fucking moral of what I'm getting at here. And I'm a
Okay.
huge advocate of it. Huge fucking advocate of it. I mean, obviously do some judgment. If they're real creepers, blah, blah, blah. But if they're like tattooed head to toe, look rough as shit, usually good people to pick up. Usually the nicest fucking people on the planet. It's that fucking, it's the guys with no tattoos out there on the side of the street.
Yeah.
You're like, the fuck is wrong with you, buddy? Like, the hell's
Yeah.
going on in there?
Okay.
So this is going to lead into secret story time. Is when I was 16, I just got in my truck. I'm with one of my best friends, Rob. It's like 10:30 at night. We're driving to my house. I'm in a Ford F-150 bench seat, 4 on the floor. So that center seat really doesn't fucking work for someone sitting there. Has a big old long shifter. Fucking, you need that seat to be clear unless there's a girl there, and
Oh yeah.
then you can slide into fourth gear with that girl there, and your fucking hands right in between their legs. That's the old trick.
Okay.
That was good.
I'm pretty sure I've been in the middle seat in situations like that. Okay.
Anyways, I'm in this truck, and we're driving. I lived on Shingleville Road, which is
Uh-huh.
for people that don't know, a little bit out of, on your way out of town from Ponderay. You're just kind of leaving civilization. You're getting out into farm country a little bit, and fucking just leaving Ponderay. That's like this last gas station before you start heading out into country roads, and it's raining. And it's like, I don't know, 10:30. It's nighttime, and I'm supposed to be coming home. I think I had to be home by like 11 or something like that. I'm still at my parents' house, have a curfew, blah, 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 whatever was going on. And we're driving, me and my buddy, and it's raining, and like a mile out of Ponderay, there's this fucking massive motherfucker. I mean, dude, this dude was 6'6", 300 pounds, in a tank top, covered in tattoos, bald head, like an extremely intimidating looking guy.
Hmm.
And he's fucking hitchhiking. And I fucking pull over, and my buddy is freaking the fuck out. And he's just like, what the fuck are you doing right now? And I'm like, dude, it's fine. I was like, first of all, no one's picking this dude up. It's fucking piss and rain outside. It's cold, and he's in a fucking tank top. And I'm like, we're giving him a ride. And I was like, and second thing, you don't have to worry. He's getting in the back of the truck. I was like, he ain't fucking fitting in here. I was like, and if he starts doing some weird shit, I'll get him out of the back of this truck. You know what I mean? I will make him have a real bad day. You know what I mean? Like,
Uh-huh.
and so pull over, dude. This guy is the most thankful motherfucker on the planet. He's just like, dude, thank you so much. He's like, I just got in a huge fight with my old lady. She kicked me out. I fucking got to get to fucking Clark Fork. It's the only place I have to stay, which for anybody listening is about a 25-minute drive, would you say, from Ponderay? Something like that, 25 minutes to get there.
Yes.
On foot
Um,
is going to take you 6 hours, 5 hours? I don't know, a long fucking time on foot.
uh,
It would take forever on foot.
yeah.
And I pull over, dude, and he's like, "Thank you so much, thank you." And I was like, "Dude, I'll take you as far as I can go, but I gotta go home, man." I was like, "And I cannot take you all the way." So we drive past the golf course. We go to like one of those viewing points, like halfway to Clark Fork. And I pull over on
Yeah.
one of the viewpoints, and I'm like, "Dude, I'm sorry, but I have to go home, or I'm gonna be in a shitload of trouble." And I was like, "But this is as far as I can take you." And I just cut half the distance out for him. So he's like, "Dude." He's like, no, I get it, man. He's like, thank you so much. Um, I don't know if anybody listening to this podcast is gonna know who this is, but he's like, my name's Big E. He's like, call me fucking Big E. And I was like, okay, man. He's like, dude, if you're ever in Clark Fork, he's like, you fucking look me up. He's like, look me up. You're ever in Clark Fork? He's like, dude, I appreciate the shit out of you. Okay, man. Have a good night. We fucking drive. Nothing happened. You just give the guy a ride. He was, dude, extremely thankful. And fucking go home. Into that night. Done and done. And then, like, a year later, at least 6 months later, me and that same friend, my buddy Rob, we go up to Clark Fork to go collect river rock. He worked for a mason company, and we'd go fucking put a bunch of we'd put a bunch of pallets down on the river there, and fucking just fucking start throwing river rock in. And then they have a semi come down. We just load all this river rock onto the semi. And
Wow.
so we're up there doing this, and at lunchtime we go into Clark Fork, and me and a bunch of my buddies. So it was like on this specific day, my buddy, it was his job, and then he had gathered a bunch of our friends to come help him. And there's this kid named Zach. I think Anthony was there. and then me and Rob and maybe one other kid. And
Hmm.
we go to lunch. So mind you, again, I'm like 16, 7. This must have been my in between, either in between, I think in between sophomore and junior year. And fucking, we go to lunch and fucking run into this guy, this Big E guy. Like 6 months later, a year later, run into this guy and just like, dude. And he's like, fucking, you're the shit, man. He's like, you saved my ass that night. He's like, I fucking love you, man. He's like, dude, see that fucking, he's like, you want any smoke? And I'm like, yeah. And dude, I was novice. I was such a baby at this time. I didn't know what anything was. I may have smoked pot like 3 times in my life at this point. Yeah, I mean, I was a
Yeah.
baby. Didn't know how any of this shit worked. And he's like, you want some pot? And I'm just like, well, yeah, but I was like, we got to get back to work here. And he just pulls out a little nug and he's like, here, take this. Just have this. And he's like, this is what I got. He's like, it's really good shit. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, come over. And he's like, see that trailer behind the store here? He's like, just go knock on that trailer when you get off work. He's like, I'll be there. Like, okay, man. And so go back to
Oh
work.
my god.
We go back to work and I tell my fucking buddy who got us the job and the boss like go on a truck and they go like up the river to like go look for another spot to go. And then the rest of us, all these kids are sitting there and we fucking smoke this bowl when we get back to work. And dude, Jesus Christ, we were blitzed. Like old school, like high school blitz. Like we paranoid, like paranoid. And the boss gets back and we're all like fucking staring at the ground, like not making eye contact with anything. And my buddy, I remember him coming up to me. He's like, "You got fucking smoked pot, didn't you?" And I'm just, and he's like, "Fucking idiots!" And just like, we're like dead silent. In the morning, we're like laughing and giggling and talking, and then he comes back after lunch, and we're all just dead silent, just staring at, just trying to keep our back. Anyways, so the dude paid us cash when we got off work. And so I told, we made this game plan with all my buddies. I'm just like, you guys all pitch in and we'll fucking get a bunch of pot from this guy. And they're like, okay, sweet. And
Yeah.
they're like, dude, that pot was amazing. I was like, yeah, I'm fine. I was so fucking high. And so after work, I go down to this trailer, fucking knock on the door of this trailer. Fucking Big E fucking opens the door, dude. He's a huge fucking intimidating guy. It was scary. Like the whole fucking thing was scary. But I was like, this dude loves me. Like
Yeah.
everything's fine. You know what I mean? Like fucking I go into this room and I don't know how any of the shit works. I've never done a drug deal in my life. I have no idea what weights are. I don't understand what prices are. And I'm
Yeah.
trying not to look like a fucking idiot, not trying to ask questions. I'm just trying to be smooth as shit, like trying to make the transfer. And he's like, how much you want? And I have no idea. You know what I mean? I've maybe heard a fucking eighth in my mind, but I don't even know what that is. So I'm like, I don't want to say anything. So I'm just like, I got $200. You know what I mean? I just set to I just here's $200. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
sit the 200 down. Like, what do I get, dude? And he fucking pulls out this goddamn trash bag, like a fucking
He could have just
trash bag
he
full.
could have just given you just the tiniest little bit,
He could
and you'd
have,
be like, thanks.
yeah, yeah, and I would have been like, oh, okay, sweet, dude. He brings out
Yeah.
this fucking massive bag, pounds and pounds of pot, and just sits it down, and then grabs a fucking gallon, like the gallon bags, freezer
Yeah.
bags, and just starts fucking scooping weed into this shit. And dude, at that time, like
Oh,
we, I didn't know this when this had all went down. It took like a year before I understood weights, and then I thought back to the situation. Dude, he hooked us up so fat. He gave us probably at least an ounce, but I'm pretty sure he gave us like two and a half ounces, which is
yeah.
way more than $200. He gave us like
Yeah.
$500-600 worth of pot for $200,
Yeah.
and just he's like, thank you guys so much. Boom, fucking, we got hooked up fat there, all because of fucking giving a hitchhiker a ride. We got hooked up fucking fat there. So I'm saying, and then it goes one step further. Sorry to continue the story. Then, like a year
Okay.
later, I'm working at Burger King with my buddy Tiberius, and we're really into the honey oil thing. Honey oil is like a big fucking thing, which is like hash. You know what I mean? And fucking,
Yeah.
we find out there's this lady who works there with this other dude who works there. Then they're fucking batshit crazy. Like they are woods people, weird. And they're like, yeah, we got some honey oil. And then so me and Tiberius, they're like, okay, just come up to our house. We drive up to this house, dude. It's up Colburn Culver. Sketchiest fucking thing I have ever done in my life, dude. We drive in, we turn into this road, and we start heading down this fucking road, and then cars, just broken down fucking shitty cars were passing, and just like, what the fuck, dude? And it is just junk everywhere. And then fucking like four RVs, like all like in a square, and then this beat to shit double wide trailer, and just fucking like bathtubs knocked over. They got fucking a pen of fucking like pigs, and then these fucking gnarly ass dogs. Like as soon as we turn up the driveway, dude, these dogs come out like fucking, spike collars around their fucking neck, and they're just freaking the fuck out. And so we
Yeah,
can't even.
this is how you used to have to buy weed.
Yes, yes.
Before you just go into a store and buy it.
Yes, yeah. You wouldn't imagine what we went through back in the dude. And
Oh,
I mean, this place was so ghetto and so scary. And these people, I mean, I can't even explain how fucking gnarly these people were. These were some of the gnarliest people I've ever dealt with. And like, and then there was a lot of meth there too. At the time, I didn't realize this. I was so young. But these were fucking meth heads. These were crazy fucking people.
yeah.
And we're fucking scared, dude. Like me and my buddy are like, fuck, dude. And all the guys there are much older than us, much bigger than us. Fucking if they want to just fucking beat the shit out of us and take our money, we ain't doing shit. You know what I mean? We can go get all of our friends and come back, and we're still gonna get the shit kicked out of us. You know what I mean? Like fucking. So, dude, we're so scared, and this dude who's selling it is not sold on us yet. We're like meeting him for the first time. They hooked us up with this guy. And then so we go out to his house, and he's fucking, arms crossed the whole time, just staring at us and fucking trying to fucking, intimidating the shit out of us. And yeah, me and my buddy are just scared shitless, dude. And then fucking all of a sudden a fucking trailer door swings open, and fucking he's like, Beeves! And fucking Big E's there. And he's like, this kid's the shit! And he's like, this kid picked me up fucking 2 years ago on the side of the road. He's like, this kid's good. And then everything changes. All the dudes there are just like, oh, you know this guy? And he's like, oh, this kid's solid as fuck. And I'm just like, all from picking a fucking dude up on the side of the road. Fucking and then the guy is like sold on me. He's like, fuck. He's like, this guy says you're fucking good. He's like, I'm looking for a young kid to start running pounds. He's like, I'll fucking front you a pound of pot right now. And fucking, dude, fucking total change. Total fucking change. All from fucking picking up a hitchhiker. So that's the moral of the
Well,
story. Pick up hitchhikers. Carry a gun, but pick up hitchhikers.
I mean, what if you're a 17-year-old girl? Pick up
Carry
hitchhikers?
a gun and pick up hitchhikers. Get your concealed.
I picked up a hit. I kind of picked up a hitchhiker once. I didn't. I was at Schweitzer Conoco, which not many people are gonna know, but it was me and this girl, both probably 16 or 17, and this guy standing out front. He's like, "Hey, can you give me a ride to Paul Chevron?" And I was like, which is another gas station, maybe I don't know, 3, 4, 5 miles away, and I'm like, sure. So then it was me and this girl in the passenger seat and this guy in the back seat, and I gave him a ride to Paul Chevron because he said he had a job interview, and there wasn't a single word said the whole time, and I instantly regretted it. I was like, I fucking completely regret this.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, but I mean, whatever. Nothing happened. Everything's good.
yeah, nothing happened. I was just afraid of being stabbed in the neck while I'm driving.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah,
would say if you're a girl, maybe not the best move, but if you're a fucking guy, fucking man up, fucking bring back hitchhiking. Hitchhiking used to be this thing, and it's not a fucking
yeah,
thing anymore.
yeah.
Yeah, a few
Because
people got killed. Jesus Christ. This is what I was talking about last episode. You're never going to make it zero. You know what I mean? Stop trying to make everything zero. You just got to
right.
deal, we got to deal with some sin. You know what I mean? We got to just accept it. Every aspect of life. There's going to be some bad eggs. There's going to be some shitty things that happen. Just let it go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, because it probably used to be like one form of travel. It's like you're either gonna fly, you're either gonna drive, or you're gonna hitchhike, and I'll just hitchhike there. You know,
Yeah.
it's just one way to get there.
Ah.
I don't know. Fucking, there was another time I was with Vince, and we were here in North Dakota. We were probably 2, 3 hours away from home, and this guy's at a gas station, and he's like, "I need a ride," and we like pick him up, and I'm like, God damn it, Vince! Like, why do we have to fucking take him with us? But it always works out just fine. I mean, I get, and there was like three dudes. There was like me, Vince, and then Vince's buddy. There was like three dudes. So I guess in that situation, what's the worst that can happen? You know.
Yeah.
But
Even if he has a
yeah,
gun, probably someone in that car had a gun too. So it's like fucking
yeah, they did.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just carry. I mean, really, the moral of the story is just buy a gun. I mean, I guess that's really where I'm going with this. Just get a gun.
But I routinely pass hitchhikers constantly.
Yeah, I mean,
So
I don't do it as much anymore, but it's
yeah,
mainly just because the only people that are hitchhiking around me are just real pieces of shit. And I just don't, I'm
yeah,
not into it. Like I'm not into this whole Portland fucking I really hate this. You know, if you walk down the streets in Portland and you walk by all the homeless shit, fucking grip of like 20-year-old fucking kids. And it's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you know what I mean? They're all sitting there with their fucking Four Loco and shit, and it's like, you're a real piece of shit. You know what I mean? I just don't. I know you're perfectly capable of doing anything, and this is the life. This is the life you're choosing. You're living
yeah.
this fucking life, and yeah,
I mean, I think it's also illegal to pick up hitchhikers, and then I think I may have had a fear of, say you get, like back in the day, I don't have this fear much anymore. Say you get pulled over and your car gets searched, that maybe anything that they have would be you on you or something like that.
yeah.
So I don't know. You kind of for a while. I was kind of paranoid of people who were getting in my car.
Well, again, then you have the gun, and you're like, if you fucking take anything out of that backpack, I'll fucking
Yeah,
shoot you. You know what I mean? And they're
yeah.
not gonna touch the fucking backpack.
Well, yeah, for sure.
Boom.
It's old school blitzed.
Ah.
We got old school blitzed.
Well, we ready to wrap this bitch up?
Sure. Episode 18. Thanks for the iTunes ratings. Thanks for listening. Our first time listeners, our last time listeners. We'll be back next week. I really, we have 3 episodes that have gone over 100 views on iTunes or on YouTube, and I think it'd be cool to see that happen again.
It would be cool.
So I don't know exactly how to make that happen. I know it requires just a lot of push. It doesn't have to be this episode, but like eventually it'd be cool to get that again. It was like episode 1 did it, the Dust Mice episode did it, and then episode 6 with John for some reason did it.
Yeah.
That's episode 6 with John is our third most popular audio and video wise for some reason.
I don't know
So
what it is, man. I don't know what.
I know,
I don't know what does it.
but we'll have a lot of good guests coming up that I'm super excited for. So we'll see how that
I
goes.
think we need to do a little bit of research on algorithm shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
What you need to be doing because
yeah,
something was fucking said to me. They were talking about it on your mom's house the other day,
yeah,
and they were talking. The kid was bringing up that supposedly something to do with the description actually changes how much it gets pushed. I think he was saying you want to write, what you're already doing a good job, is you want to write a detailed description. For some
yeah,
reason that helps in some aspect.
yeah,
And then it's something about what you actually put in the description changes it. And then because he was
yeah.
talking, I don't know, I don't know. It didn't really make sense to me what he was saying, but
Well, and the unfortunate thing is the title a lot too. So for us, it just says like the Eric and Brad Show, episode 18, featuring Joe. So if we were to put like episode 18, Kanye West, Joe Rogan, and Elon Musk or something like that in the title,
yeah,
it'd be a lot better. But it's just so cheap and shitty. I feel like
yeah.
putting the description a lot better.
Totally.
You know?
One thing that I did the other day was I went back through, I don't know if you caught this, but I went on YouTube and I changed the title for the Maxi Pad one because you had Eric and Brad Show Maxi Pad versus da da da. And I was like, well, that's a
Yeah,
horrible title. Like we need to, on that one, it was like, well, we don't need our name in that one. You know what I mean? That's like a clip.
yeah,
And so I went back and changed it. I
okay,
don't think it did anything. It only had like fucking 20 views or
right.
something like that. But
I think the reason I did that is because I looked back and I did that on the Taylor Swift. So I was like, oh, I better just do this one the same way.
yeah,
So the Taylor Swift. that too. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Those clips would be a good point. It would be a good thing to make that title different.
Yeah.
Like you just, yeah, for sure.
Okay, guys. Well, we love y'all, and thanks for hanging out, sticking it out with us. Sorry that all my viewpoints are racist, and I'm a piece of shit. But we love y'all.
Email about it.
Yeah, email about it. Let's fucking fight about it. Yeah. Hope you guys have a good week, and until next time, bye.